Anyway, game number 2 of Mine versus Push. We've seen no changes to any of the lineups, so Push obviously feel that they just lost this from being a misplaying. It wasn't their tank choices, it was them themselves that lost it. So we'll see their movements here as the T1 is in a defensive position and the rest of the team goes to the west. Now this is unique. Normally you would see one guy heading into the middle. Normally the T71 heads into the middle to be the forward scout to stop any quick rushes through the middle taking place. But this looks like that Mine has something else in mind and they're going to be going around and doing a full push over this far side. Looking at the hilly terrain here, you're well protected from artillery and you're easily able to cover each other with all the different routes that occur. So yeah. Apparently in-game sounds are a bit too loud. I will know that for you guys. And Angular Check is caught out with Kamek and Zik and Dead Professor hitting him down, but again he doesn't go, and that's actually really good for him. He's actually both times shown that he can scout without being compromised. But last time he didn't actually rejoin when he should have rejoined, which left his team a gun down for the main battle. To be fair, I don't think that would have made much of a choice, but Stigmat is also spotted in the middle, able to look across against the hills over here. Now the hills are really nice and important because you're able to get not only the height advantage, but you've got all this terrain to cover you, all the bushes. Now if you didn't know much about World of Tanks and the mechanics, the bushes allow you to hide behind. If you don't fire and you just hide behind the bushes, you're much harder to be seen. But if you fire, you are revealed. So these sort of positions up here are really nice to be able to look into town and reveal anyone there. However, Anglo-Czech reveals himself, and this time he's going down. No second chances. And Fnac and Zik do take him down, but do receive some fire in the meantime from the middle. It's not a huge loss for Push. They can do without. Oh, that yawn came out of nowhere. I actually didn't have much sleep last night, so I apologise if I yawn too much. It's one of those things. I was working hard rearranging the office for this cast, so there. Yeah. Cool. Himmler is still on base defense, but this time he has spotted someone over here. If we look at the mini-map, we can't see what it is, but it's probably the other T1. I'll have to remember to raise that because I couldn't see what that was. Don't know if that's a bug with the map or the mod. But we can see that the rest of the team are coming back, and that's a problem with the replays. You don't always get the entire vision. If they're not looking where you want to look, you won't get the whole vision. So I apologize for that again, but we'll soon see if we run into any more any more issues. Zik Mac, Dead Professor, Xbox 360. 360? I see what's on my mind there. Xbox 69 is over here on the west side, coming back. They're obviously expecting a big push from Push into the middle to see what is going on, and we do actually see a tank go down, a T1, and where did the T1 go? I don't think we can see on the map. There it is. The T1 was caught out of position and taken down. It was very good shots there from Zik and Kamek, able to take him down. But you can see that the defensive formation here from Mines is trying to really they know that if they can't really push forward, if they push forward even with a couple of tanks, they're going to be out of position for when Push definitely, and they're definitely going to do it, come forward and do the damage, or at least try and do a quick cap. That will be really disastrous for Mine if they all push north like the T71 is doing there. The T71 is expendable, as I said. It's nowhere near as good in combat as a T69 or an AMX 1390. In fact, its armor is so light that T50 or any of the fast rapid fire tanks could really penetrate all parts of it. Whereas the T69's front armor is actually pretty decent against scout tanks. Things like the T50-2 and stuff like that really can't penetrate the front of the T69. You don't get that with the T71. Plus the damage is actually a lot greater with the T69 as well. And penetration. So we have a standoff here as we have Mind looking out for see what's going to be happening. Tribolta comes forward for Push, trying to see if they can make something happen. Coffee. Right. Nothing going on at the moment. Both teams eyeing each other out, and in one of these are the situations that are really important that the captain doesn't overreact. Many times when I'm doing tank company battles, and if you do it yourself, you will realize that if you see enemy movements, you can overreact, overcommit forces to one direction, or think the enemy are doing more than they are. And that can really cause problems. Too many orders is just as bad as none at all, as you will, well, get out positioned and die, and totally, what's the word for it? Totally outplayed. Where you're out of position, the enemy push forward, and you go back, and in doing so, the enemy comes around your rear, takes you out, that sort of stuff. But Dead Professor pokes his head out, tries to get a shot off, does connect with Tribolta, but gets one in his... in exchange for that. Now the AMX 1390 does have an issue. It can't look down very well, and it can't really look up either. So the T69 has that advantage over it as well, and it's why we're seeing more T69s these days instead of the AMX 90s. Okay, so Tribolta is at the floor there, moving around, trying to spot the T71. Is Fnatic, who's trying to get a few shots off there. He has been spotted. Tribolta is trying to get a few connecting shots, but it's not enough. Zik and Dead Professor, not sure what they want to do here in the middle. Splitting up, though, is probably one of the worst things you could do right now, because if one of them's caught out on their own, they're going to get killed. But they're covered, generally speaking, from their teammates, as you see over here. These guys can always cover the middle, so he's not really alone, and we do know that there's no one else in the middle of the Abbey, so that's not a problem there. However, on the far side, Fnatic is getting chased down by one of the pushes. Totally is coming out in his AMX 1390 and totally takes down the T71, leaving the base now not with any threat. That was really good reaction from Push. Without trying to fight him head on, just flanked him, kept the rest of the team busy, and took him down. Every bit of HP loss is important, and now it's down to even tanks again, 5 each. Yeah. There's no delay at the moment, so I can actually respond to you in the chat immediately. When we go to the main chats, when we go to the main stream later on tonight, I will have to put a 10-minute delay on. So we will be taking a break nearer the time so I can move myself into a 10-minute delay. So, yeah. It makes it easier for me to edit this afterwards as well. So this is the second game of the evening. Mind totally decimated. I say decimated, annihilated Push in the first game. They're looking to make the same thing happen again. As they come around the corner here, they know there's someone trapped over here unless he escaped through the 7 column, and he hasn't. Brianeto's there on his own, and he's going to be taken out now, but no, the rest of the team is there, and this is going to be a massive exchange between the two teams with the T69s on both teams. The AMX 5100 survives with 10 HP, meaning another shell had to go on him. The other AMX 50 from the Mind team is able to try and get some shots off here, and he could be all the difference. Zik, though, must be reloading by this point, or only having one shell left in the breach, as Meg goes around the corner, does one shot the remaining the first T69, and Tribolta now trying to escape. He must be reloading. He must be reloaded by now. He's coming back, but he's being tracked. So Meg is able to make something happen here, but Zik is going around the corner. Got to try and get a shot off. First shot. Second shot. Oh, he was put on fire, but the fire kit was able to remove that immediately. Tribolta is trying to get some damage off. Meg runs past, completely ignoring him. What a boss move there. How ballsy is Meg there? He's shrugging him off, going, I don't care about you. Zik will deal with you. He must be out of ammo and has to reload. And there Zik replies that he needs to reload as well. Tribolta's reloading, and this is all a poker hand. Tribolta might not know that Zik needs to reload, and so Zik is poking his head out, and both of these could die with an absolute stupid high roll on the damage from first shot. Tribolta's obviously much more valuable than Zik. First shot from Zik goes into Tribolta's track, second shot ricochets off the turret, and the third shot connects, taking down the last combat tank there for push. But the timer is out, meaning the Bison saves the day, and it's actually a draw. What a shame. I got so wrapped up in the action, I didn't spot that the timer was actually running out, and it ended up being a draw. I really feel that that was a win for Mind, but a draw is a draw. And the second game ends up giving a point to nobody. Mind and Push. This is round 3 replay casting of the Golden League here in the fine locale of England. Yeah.